There comes a time in life when you have to stop waiting for people to see you, stop waiting for them to acknowledge you, to celebrate you, to validate the gift you already have inside of you. Some of us are exhausted, not because we're doing too much, but because we've been looking in the wrong direction. We've been searching for our worth in people who don't even know their own. We've been measuring our success by standards that were never meant to define us. But what if I told you that there's a way to break free from this cycle? A way to reclaim your power and start living a life that's true to who you are? This isn't just about self-improvement, it's about self-reclamation. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has survived the test of time, teaches us that our true worth comes not from outside accolades but from living in accordance with our own values. Today, we're going to dive deep into how we can apply these Stoic principles to stop chasing external validation and start nurturing our inner strength. If you find resonance in these words, if you're tired of playing roles that don't fit, of wearing masks that hide your true face, then stick with me. Don't skip any part of this video because each moment is crafted to help you see a clearer image of yourself. And if you appreciate what we're doing here, consider hitting the subscribe button. It's a simple, free way to keep these conversations going. Let's embark on this journey together to a place where you can finally stop seeking approval and start approving yourself. It's easy to fall into the trap, isn't it? Waiting for that nod of approval, that pat on the back, or just a simple well done from someone else to feel like you've truly accomplished something. It's almost like we're programmed to seek out validation from the outside before we can fully appreciate our own efforts. But why is this need so deeply ingrained in us? If you look at it through the lens of Stoicism, it becomes clear that seeking external approval is a distraction from what really matters, our internal progress and virtue. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca believe that true peace comes from within, not from the accolades or validations we might get from the external world. They taught that it's not what happens to you but how you react that matters. This wisdom holds a powerful lesson for us today. The only validation that truly matters is the kind you give yourself. When you're constantly looking outside yourself for confirmation, you're not only giving away your power but also diminishing your own voice. Every time you wait for someone to give you the green light, you're essentially saying that their opinion is more valuable than your own. But think about it, should someone else's perspective really hold more weight than your personal experience and understanding? This constant search for approval can lead to a dangerous cycle where your self-worth is tied up in what others think of you. It's like building your house on sandy ground. It's unstable, and the slightest change in the wind can bring everything crashing down. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to build our foundation on the solid ground of our own reason, choices, and actions. By focusing on what's in our control, our actions, responses, and judgments, we can cultivate a sense of self that is resilient and not dependent on the unpredictable opinions of others. So how do we break free from this cycle? It starts with recognizing the power of your own approval. Begin each day by affirming your worth and capabilities. Reflect on your actions and decisions through self-review. What did you do today that was in line with your values and goals? Celebrate these victories, no matter how small they may seem, and remember, not every accomplishment needs a witness to be valid. Your progress is no less significant just because it goes unnoticed by others. Consider the freedom that comes with detaching from the need for external validation. Imagine the energy and time you could reclaim if you weren't constantly checking for feedback or waiting for likes on social media. This energy could be redirected towards activities that genuinely enrich your life and further your personal growth. Stoicism doesn't mean becoming indifferent or aloof. It means understanding where true value lies. It encourages us to redirect our focus inward and to cultivate our inner citadel, making it so strong and fortified that the opinions of others cannot easily penetrate it. This is not about isolating oneself from the world but about strengthening one's self-awareness and self-acceptance to engage with the world more effectively and peacefully. In embracing this Stoic approach, You empower yourself to live more authentically. You learn to act not for the applause but for the sake of the action itself. And when you do receive external validation, it becomes not a necessity but a welcome addition to the satisfaction you've already derived from your own self-approval. Falling into the trap of seeking validation from others is something we've all experienced at one point or another. It's like we're on stage, constantly performing, hoping our audience approves. This need for validation can be all-consuming, and ironically, the more we seek it, the less satisfied we feel. Why do we give so much power to the opinions of others? Why do we let the likes, comments, and approvals dictate our self-worth and happiness? The ancient Stoics had a pretty clear view on this. They believed that the only thing truly worth valuing was virtue and that the pursuit of virtue should be done for its own sake, not for recognition from others. They taught that true happiness comes from within, from knowing that you are living a life aligned with your moral values, regardless of outside approval. Seneca, one of the Stoic philosophers, wrote extensively about the futility of placing one's happiness in the hands of others. He argued that when you allow your emotional well-being to depend on the praise or criticism of others, you are no longer in control of your own happiness. This dependence on external validation not only affects our emotional well-being but also impacts our decision-making. How often have you changed your plans because you worried about what others would think? Or maybe you've taken on projects that didn't align with your passions just because they were more likely to earn you praise or recognition. When we live like this, we're not really living our own lives, we're living for other people. And this can lead us to make choices that aren't true to who we are, which only leads to regret and dissatisfaction. The trap of external validation is particularly dangerous in today's digital age, where social media platforms provide instant feedback for every aspect of our lives. It's easy to get caught up in the number of followers, likes, or comments we receive. But Stoicism teaches us to question these external sources of supposed value. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher and a Roman emperor, reminded himself to disregard the applause of others, focusing instead on his own actions and their alignment with his values. He knew that the sweetness of other people's approval is fleeting and that true contentment comes from living a life you respect. Breaking free from the need for external validation involves turning inward and focusing on self-reflection, self-approval, and personal growth. It means understanding and accepting that not everyone will agree with or support your decisions, and that's okay. It's about respecting your own opinions more than anyone else's and trusting in your own judgment. This isn't to say feedback from others is always bad, but it shouldn't be the foundation upon which you build your self-esteem or happiness. To start this journey, begin by identifying the areas in your life where you seek approval most. Ask yourself why you seek validation in these areas and what it would mean to stop. Consider journaling about your findings to clarify your thoughts. Also, practice mindfulness to stay present and focused on your own experiences rather than how they might be perceived by others. Mindfulness can help you develop a stronger connection to your inner self, reducing the impulse to look outside for affirmation.